to show us some of the places you used to hang out and live.
We're going back to my roots.
When I first moved to New York,
When you came here, was there something that you were looking for or something you were trying to achieve?
Fame and fortune. Yeah. Started out now. Started going back to
when I first moved to New York,
Some of my earliest memories of Madonna is when she would be in here in the building all the time, always working, always practicing. She'd be roaming the building, singing her tunes, and looking for other musicians to work with.
She was nice, she was cute, she was friendly, you know, she had a nice personality. If you saw her in the elevator, she would talk to you.
I said, so like, what do you do? And she goes, I'm making a record. And I was like, oh yeah, that's nice, you know, and I didn't even believe her.
I remember having bouts of the worst depression, especially when I first came here, where I just thought, God, this city's so big and there's so many people and I don't know anyone. And people would just be rushing by me and shoving me around, and I'll just think, will I ever have any friends? Will I ever, you know what I mean? It's very daunting.
And you'd run away from home, really, in one sense, because your dad didn't know you lived, right?
Well, right. I basically came to Manhattan without his permission. I started out with my first band rehearsing in the music building because I was squatting in another building nearby and I got thrown out because they turned off the electricity and the hot water. I had to move into the music building and live there where I was rehearsing.
With your drummer, who you then chucked because you met someone else in the elevator, right?
Well, there were a lot of cute boys in the building, I have to say.
Because I want to get the boyfriend. I'm more interested in the boyfriend.
Of course you would be. So I think we should go in and check it out. Hi! Okay, so this is the freight elevator, which is not actually the elevator I used to ride up in. Sometimes I did, because I started as a drummer, and this is the elevator I used to park my drums in, break down all the equipment, put it in here.
Right.
Right? So, and, wow. I think this is the room. Wait, we gotta check out the number. 604, yeah. Okay. And,
This is your studio?
well, it's not my studio anymore, but it used to be my studio. And, I mean, this could never have been my studio, actually, because I wouldn't have allowed anybody to smoke cigarettes. Exactly, and there's cigarette butts everywhere. And so I just came in here and I started to live and rehearse all in the same room. There were 3 other people in the band, so we split the costs between us, and then we shared the room with another band. So it was actually split 8 ways. So it wasn't that expensive, and we paid for it with gigs. I mean, mostly we played out in Long Island or New Jersey, don't tell anybody. And we played at some really crap clubs on the Upper West Side. If we were lucky, we got a gig at CBGB's or Max's Kansas City. It was like post-Andy Warhol.
And of course, otherwise, you'd had your modeling career.
Yes, I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up. Yeah, I did model. Well, when I first moved to New York, I was a dancer, so I did a lot of modeling, nude modeling. Thank you very much. And I mean, it was really good money and very flexible hours, which is why I chose to do it. It's not because I enjoyed taking my clothes off or anything like that. And
liar.
I did it a lot more when I was a dancer, and then when I decided to become a musician, I kind of fell back on it when I had when I was really desperate and we weren't getting any gigs.
Right.
I would just,
do it as a last resort.
shoot on down to the new school and throw off my clothes.
Right.
And, pose for 3 hours and make some good money and then get back here to rehearse.
So is that how the Playboy photographs came about?
The Playboy photographs, oh yes. Actually, no, not from the new school, but what happened is I used to meet a lot of photographers in that school, and then they'd want me to come to their studios and pose for them privately, of course. Just natural. And so I did that, and a couple of times, you know, I'd go to this guy's house on 7th Street, his apartment, and on the Lower East Side, and we did a few sessions, and well, the rest is history. Now it's looking really neat and tidy right now. When I lived here illegally,
It was a mess.
it was disgusting. See, look at this hallway right here. See how all the graffiti is and everything? This is how every floor looked. It was actually a little bit more interesting than it is, and I've really cleaned it up. Anyway, here we are in the ladies'
Oh, someone
room.
started out again here. And here we are in the ladies.
Yes, no lock, as you can see. Anyone can peek in through the peephole, not much privacy. So here's the sink. Cold water only. Try not to feel sorry for me. Look, I used to come in here like this, okay?
Hell for shaving anyway, cold water.
Because you can't even turn, you've got to hold the faucet on like that, so you've got to like this. You know what I mean? Like, really embarrassing. Okay, so once we got enough money to have a rehearsal space of our own, we moved into this room.
Right.
Which, oh my God, there's someone in here.
Oh, there's someone rocking.
Should we go in? I hope they don't mind. What if they suck? That's quite cute. Don't stop! Don't stop! Keep going!
Keep going.
Keep going! I'm just taking a trip down memory lane.
All right. We love you. Okay, again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, I used to rehearse in here. Did you know that?
This space?
Yeah.
This room?
We're taking a trip down memory lane, and I used to rehearse in this building, and this is one of the rooms I rehearsed in. So we didn't mean to interrupt anything.
It's all right. Thank you.
So good luck, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Now,
We can pretend
when I
this
lived here, you have to understand something. There wasn't a lot of room to go out. You know, I mean, I had lived in a cubicle, so if I wanted to feel some fresh air and, you know, some space around me, I had to come up to the roof.
Right.
There's something very metropolis about this room.
Yeah, there is. You might
Just kind of looking out and the architecture of all the buildings, and this is where my boyfriend used to kiss me. It was very romantic. It was a donut shop which we frequented on a regular basis. And
And how many years were you here for, roughly? On and off?
God. I mean, from the time that I first started rehearsing, then there was a portion of time that I lived here, and then there was a portion of time when I moved out of here
Still
into the
rehearsed.
Star Motel, but I still rehearsed here. I'd say about 4 years,
Right.
4
a
or
long
5
time.
years.
So you must have known everyone. There must have been the weirdest characters.
Yes, there were a lot of freaks in this building.
But how could anyone rehearse with a band like that on the
It's
same
like a
floor?
dormitory for freaks, basically.
Is this the first time you've been back here since those days?
Yeah, I haven't been here in years, and
Wow.
you know, the scary thing is that I recognize some of the people here.
That is scary. What does it feel like apart from that? I mean, you're so far away from it all now.
I don't know. I miss this part of my life. I miss the struggling part. Not that I'm not struggling anymore, but
Were you happy when you were young? Happier than now? I bet you're happier now than you ever were before.
I'm happier now. But I must say I miss those days of anonymity and, you know, free to experiment and do whatever I want. And I used to walk very boldly down the street, and I used to have this thing that I was going to look in everybody's eyes because I was going to be somebody who were going to remember me.
Did you know, though, that you were going to be someone at that point? Were you completely certain?
I knew something was going to happen. I wasn't really sure what shape it was going to take, because when I first came to New York, I was a dancer.
Right.
Then I actually wanted to be an actress, and I started studying acting and going to Off-Broadway and then musical kind of auditions and stuff, and I kind of fell into music by accident.
Right.
And then I ended up kind of going down that road, but up until that point, I wasn't sure how
I think that's the best thing about being young, being certain about what you can do, though.
Yeah, yeah.
And you kind of get less certain, don't you think, as you get older? Or maybe, no, you probably don't, actually.
Well, the thing is, you don't know what's in store for you. Now that I know what's in store for me, I mean,
Right.
You know, that's
Yeah.
being naive really helps.
Yeah.
Being innocent really helps. Doesn't it? Just, Rupert. So now I want to kind of go in chronological order. And as I said, when I met my my manager, she said, "Look, we've got to get you out of this place, and you know,
Into something civilized.
into something more exactly, something decent." So of course she moved me to the Star Motel, which well, you can see for yourself.
I think the first time I went to Madonna's crib, we had to sit on the floor, and I felt sorry for her.
From what I heard, she used to take a bath in the sink because the bathtub was broken. This is true.
Luisa Ciccone, that they call now Madonna, she used to be my son's friend, and they used to go to do exercise, running from 30th Street to 29th Street, running all over.
She would get me up in the morning and say, "Come on, get up, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that." And I always found her amazingly energetic.
And what amazed me is like we would hang out, and I was, you know, I was wild in my own way, but she never touched alcohol. She didn't smoke pot, cigarettes, nothing, you know. And she always was hot, like, on a natural high.
I got an apartment on the Upper East Side. Then I lived on the West Side in the 30s on 9th Avenue in a really, really seedy building, and I kept getting mistaken for a hooker. It's a terrible thing,
That must have happened many times later in Madonna's life.
Well, because I used to come out, you know, I was a dancer then. I used to come out with like my tights rolled up to my knees and my leotards, and I don't know, I wasn't wearing very much, but I wasn't trying, in those days, I wasn't trying to be provocative, if you can imagine. And then I ended up here at the Star Motel, which I'm going to show to you, okay?
What made you go up drumming?
I wanted to be in the front. Who wants to be hidden behind all those drums? This was where I moved when I left the music building. Now, it just looks like a regular kind of walk-up apartment, but it used to be the Star Motel, and there used to be a neon sign going down the side of the building. And I lived on the 3rd floor. And come on, you want to go up these steps? So this is where I lived, and the door's locked, so we can't really go up there. But if you can see these 2 doors over here, that's where the landlady left. That's where the landlady lived, and she was very nice. She was Spanish. She had a really cute son, and I remember I used to go down there for coffee sometimes, and they had those velvet paintings on the walls and candles lit everywhere, and lots of saints and crosses and everything. Anyway, so I shared a bathroom with 2 fat Colombians, and then this old Irish drunk who'd just been released from an insane asylum. And he would just be wailing all night long. It was quite scary, I have to say. And I used to have to come down and sort of shove bums out of the way to get out my door. And now, I mean, I haven't been back here in years, but they've changed locales, and so the new Star Motel is over there, but I think we should go check it out because I want you to see like the decor and kind of get the vibe, and I'm pretty sure it's similar. So let's go. So it used to be a motel, but now it's a hotel. Okay. Hi. Hi, thank you. Oh, thanks. Got it. Well, see, security's not very good around here. Now this is a lot more modern than, I have to say, this is much more modern than it was.
Oh, this is a good one for you. Exactly what part of no don't you understand? Every part.
Wait, how about this?
No overnight visitors. No visitors after
I
6.
stayed in the Star Motel for months, okay? Oh, do I just ring the doorbell? Oh. Oh, okay, thank you. So, hello. Anyway, just like the other one, there's like a bathroom on every floor. So let's go. You want to go to the top floor?
Let's go to the top floor.
Doesn't it smell really bad in here? Oh, God.
I think it's pretty clean, to be honest.
No, there's a real, it's a like cat pee smell. All right. Make sure there's nobody in here, for God's sakes.
There we go.
All right. Oh, let's keep the soft light on.
They've still got your curtains.
Exactly. So this is pretty much the standard decor for the Star Motel. I mean, my room is a little bit bigger than this.
Now, your suitcases are this size nowadays, right?
My closets are bigger than this room. Yeah, I mean, look, cigarette holes in the bed, in the blanket. So, yeah, I lived here for a while, and I had horrible nightmares, and I could never sleep because there was so much noise, and I was so petrified. The doors I think, were really easy to break into.
Were you lonely?
And in fact, I was robbed once. Was I lonely?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you miss your family at first?
Oh, God, yes. I used to, oh, please, I used to cry and cry and cry and long for familiarity and
there was so
comfort.
You must have been in like a madhouse home because there must have been so many kids there.
Yeah, but at least it was clean and it was familiar.
And then just in this little room on your own.
Yeah. It's weird, but I had this thing that I just, once I left, I couldn't go back. I was going to really let myself down. If I went back home, I made that choice and I couldn't go back. And I couldn't ask my father for anything either. That was another
thing you had.
Yeah.
Right. How long did it take you when you were here to make a huge group of friends?
A huge group of friends? Well, I still don't have a huge group of friends.
I bet you did then.
Well, I'd say once I got a record deal and I moved to the Lower East Side and I started hanging out with that whole downtown art scene. Right. Everybody. I had a huge group of friends, and Danceteria, I met so many friends, Debbie Mazar and Mara Paul, who went on to make all my jewelry back in the early days, made my boy toy belt buckle, provided me with all the rubber bracelets, which, by the way, everyone was wearing at the time. Everyone's got this thing in their head that, I created this fashion statement, but in reality, I think everyone was dressing the way I was dressing. I just happened to be the one that got famous.
Donna's greatest vice in those years was she would just drink orange juice nonstop.
Popcorn, some peanuts from there, yogurt.
She used to eat out of garbage cans, she told me. I thought, oh, you're tired.
I just want to know something. Was I nice when I was younger? Did I have good manners?
My first week in New York.
There have been 42 presidents of the United States.
You're looking for trouble?
But only one king.
You came to the right place.
Celebrate the life of the king of rock and roll all day tomorrow on VH1.
Thank you very much. No.
This looks like a job for